Hello, welcome back to CycleFab. I'm Larry. This is part 4 in the CB750 build. Now, what I was planning to do last weekend was have a startup scenario for you guys, but that did not happen, okay? Now, there are some things about this motor that I found out that are good and some not so good, but it's not that big of a deal. Now, I had to get some parts for this engine, actually the accessory oil can. I did not know when I got this engine that it had an accessory oil can, okay, that held the oil. That's how ignorant I was about these engines. I knew they were good engines, but you know, that's about it. So anyway, I got everything buttoned up, ready to go. In other words, I got the exhaust on it right here. And this I scavenged off of the GS550. The exhaust wasn't any good anyway, so I just cut the lead pipes off of it and did some creative machining and came up with this. It works, okay? Now, I would not run these, obviously. This is just for the engine while it's on the stand and I'm trying to start it. So, after that was done, I went ahead and got the oil tank ordered, the oil lines and everything, got everything ready to go, put oil in it, and it will not receive oil at all. Now, I'll probably go ahead and pull the oil pump out and run it through the ultrasonic cleaner because I got a good idea that it's just crammed full of sludge. Yeah, this engine is 54 years old and I'm sure it probably has a lot of sludge built up down inside of it. So I want to pull the oil pan off and hopefully we can get, you know, the pump clean, everything cleared up, it starts taking oil, and then go ahead and get this thing started, or at least try to. Now, I do know that the rotating assembly is okay, the starter runs, and it rotates everything. So, that part's good. Now, let's get this thing flipped over, get the oil pan off of it, and see what's going on. All right, guys, I want to go ahead and button this back up. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the internal of this motor as far as sludge buildup. I did find a little bit of, you know, metal in here, but not much. I'm talking about, you know, just 4 or 5 little pieces. Now, what I want to do is button this back up, flip it back over, and go ahead and pour oil down into the tappets where the valve cover is. Just about a quart, then I'll go ahead and put 2 quarts into the oil can. And let's go ahead and try to get this engine running. Anyway, what that will do will allow oil to already be where it's going to go anyway, to just feel uncomfortable about running a dry engine until, you know, the pump decides to get the oil up there. So let's go ahead and get this button back up. Okay guys, I've got everything hooked up. It is ready to go. This is my auxiliary fuel tank. I've got it hooked up to the carbs. They're not leaking too much, I guess. The coils, I've got power to go into them. That's on the black and white wire, and the blue and the yellow wire are going to my points and condensers. Now I'll be powering my coils with a 12-volt battery, the same one that I want to be using to start this with. But I'm going to go ahead and connect those. There we go. Okay, no smoke. Now what I'm going to do is start this baby, or at least try to. I'm not promising anything. This is the first time I've ever tried to start any engine on an engine stand. And we'll just see. Now, this is an incredibly good engine as far as the shape that it was in for being as old as it is. And by the way, it's 52 years old, not 54 years old like I said at the beginning of the video. Without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's see what happens. It actually tried to start. Cool. All right. Feeling good. I've got fuel leaking out. All right. Yep, not quite yet, but I do want to check and make sure I am getting oil to the tappets up top. I don't know if that's happening yet. Now what I did, I said this earlier, I put a quart of oil in the top of the motor and let it just drain down, and also there's 2 quarts in here. Hopefully everything will get going. Let me try this again. And I got the choke on, which I didn't beforehand. kind of rough on the old fingers there. All right, let's see. I think what I might do is try some starter fluid. All right. Okay. Cool, it runs. I did not expect it to do that. I figured if anything, it would catch and run for, I don't know, a millisecond, and then that would be it. It would be over with, and I don't know, I'd have to figure something else out. But yeah, it ran. You got to realize this is really kind of a milestone for me. The reason why is because I am not a mechanic. I'm a machinist. I'm a metal finisher. I do know basic mechanics and how an engine works and all that, but this is just cool. I've never ran one on the stand, so yeah, it worked. And to think, you know, it's 52 years old. I don't know when the last time it was started, and the story I get, like 25 years ago, maybe. So anyway, all right, well. Hey, next weekend I will start on the frame jig. This, right here, okay? And I'll have the metal in here, we'll build it, and you guys can watch me talk about that and watch me build one. So anyway, I do appreciate you guys showing up every weekend to watch my stuff. Sorry about last weekend, but I had to get some parts for this motor that I was not expecting. Wasn't that big of a hassle, but I'm really impressed with this. I still have not seen any oil squirting up at the top on the tappets. Maybe it's doing it, I don't know. I want to run a few more tests on it. Hey, if you guys are liking this video, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and hit that notification bell too, so you know when my next videos are coming out. And if you really like the video, if you're in the CB750s and you're into this video series of the build, then please share it with a friend.